If you could commit the perfect crime, no witnesses, no evidence, no punishment, would you do it? Most people immediately answer no. But have you ever asked yourself why? Is it because of the law or because of something far more powerful, your conscience? Welcome back to the Open Page. Today we are opening one of the greatest novels ever written, Fyodor Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. Despite its title, this is not really a crime novel. It's a novel about what happens after the crime, about guilt, conscience, identity, and the price we pay when we try to silence our humanity. The story follows Rodion Raskolnikov, a brilliant but impoverished former university student living in the crowded streets of 19th century St. Petersburg. He's intelligent, proud, isolated, and increasingly convinced that extraordinary people have the right to break ordinary moral rules if they believe they're serving a greater purpose. He admires figures like Napoleon, great people he believes change history because they dare to cross ethical boundaries. So he decides to test his theory. He murders an old pawnbroker, convincing himself that her death will ultimately create more good than harm. But the plan goes terribly wrong. Her innocent half-sister unexpectedly enters the room. He kills her too. The crime is complete, yet the punishment begins immediately. Here's the genius of Dostoevsky. The police aren't Raskolnikov's greatest enemy. His own mind is. He develops fever, sleeplessness, paranoia, nightmares. He isolates himself from everyone who loves him. His conscience becomes his prison. Dostoevsky reminds us that justice isn't only found in courtrooms. Sometimes it lives quietly inside us, waiting. Throughout the novel, several unforgettable characters become mirrors reflecting different aspects of humanity. Razumikhin, Raskolnikov's loyal friend, represents kindness, optimism, and genuine human connection. His sister Dunya embodies courage and sacrifice. Then there is Sonia Marvaladova, perhaps the moral heart of the novel. Forced into prostitution to feed her starving family, Sonia never loses her compassion for her faith. She doesn't condemn Raskolnikov. She listens, she forgives, and she gently leads him towards confession. Her love isn't sentimental, it's transformative. Meanwhile, the brilliant investigator Porfiry Petrovich plays a fascinating game. He rarely accuses, instead he asks questions. He understands that psychological truth often reveals more than physical evidence. Their conversations become intellectual chess matches where every move exposes another layer of Raskolnikov's conscience. What makes Crime and Punishment timeless is its themes. The novel asks whether intelligence alone can determine morality, whether poverty excuses violence, whether freedom means escaping responsibility, whether human beings can truly live without compassion, and perhaps most importantly, can someone who has done something terrible become a better person? Dostoevsky's answer is both challenging and hopeful. Yes, but only through honesty, through accepting responsibility, through suffering, and through love. The novel ends in Siberia, where Raskolnikov begins serving his prison sentence. Ironically, this is where his freedom finally begins. Not because the prison doors open, but because his heart does. His confession is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of his rebirth. Dostoevsky reminds us that redemption isn't forgetting the past. It's having the courage to face it. More than 150 years after this publication, Crime and Punishment continues to challenge readers because it asks questions that every generation must answer. What makes us moral? Can ideas become dangerous when they lose compassion? Can guilt become a path towards healing? And what does it truly mean to be human? Perhaps that's why this novel refuses to grow old. Because the streets of St. Petersburg may belong to the 19th century, but the conflicts inside Raskolnikov belong to every century, including ours. If you've never read Crime and Punishment, don't read it as a detective story. Read it as a journey into your own conscience. Thank you for joining me on the open page. If today's episode made you think differently about literature or about yourself, share it with another reader. Until next time, keep turning the pages, because every page has a story, and every story has the power to change the person reading it.